Your first place New York Mets. With the trade deadline 1 week away, the Mets swept the Angels Wednesday, and they got a little help from their friends. The friends in Boston, which beat the Phillies in Philly in extra innings in what was a thrilling game to avoid the sweep. Finally, the Mets getting some help from the Red Sox this week, and now the Mets a half game up. The Mets off, the Phillies off. Big series in San Francisco for the Mets this weekend. The Phillies, they'll take on the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. It's Mets fans for Yankees this weekend, and it's Mets fans for Mets Daily. Smash that thumbs up on this video. I'm your host, Jake Brown, at Jake Brown Live on all social media. Give me a follow. Give at Mets Daily Show a follow. Subscribe, and become a Mets Daily Insider by scanning that QR code. Just $5 a month to become a member. We did a watch party yesterday. We'll have an exclusive video over the weekend and a giveaway at the end of the month to members only. So hit that join button by scanning that, and cheaper than a cup of coffee. Wednesday, brilliant. Pete Alonso, home run. Francisco Lindor getting out of his slump. And everyone who hated on Lindor, I just don't get it. Yes, he was in an over 30 slump, but to consider booing him and people talking about he's finished, they should have never given him a contract. Get a brain, get a life, get a clue. You know, Francisco Lindor is the face of this franchise, and he was bound to get out of it. He did that on Wednesday. 2 hits, 2 RBIs. So just breathe. Have some patience. The Mets are nothing without Francisco Lindor, and he's going to have big hits this season. And yes, he struggled in the dog days of summer, but I guarantee you he's probably about to get it going and turn that around. Pete Alonso needed that. You felt like maybe the hand injury combined with the home run chase and the potential free agency if he opts out and not doing the home run derby, all this stuff on his mind. His wife is pregnant. Like, he's got a lot of things going on. It was good to see Alonso hit a very long home run. And Sean and it was good to see him get through 5 innings. We talked about why the hell are you pulling him after 4? Can he really not go 5? He goes 82 pitches. He gets into the 80s. Building up his stamina still, he talked about. And now you could hope that the next outing he can go 6 innings when he pitches in San Diego, his former home, his former team. So that'll be kind of a revenge outing for Sean and I. Remember, he talked about a couple of years ago, San Diego and the ending, and he changed his approach and he wasn't happy with himself. And that's kind of when he reinvented himself as a pitcher. And now he goes back to that place. And I'm sure he's going to have a chip on his shoulder for his next start. So that was great to see. And, the bullpen, outside of Jose Butto, who, he gets an excuse there. He only had 1 rehab outing coming off the sickness. The bullpen did a good job. Edwin Diaz, a little bit of command issues, hitting another guy, hitting him in the head, hitting a few guys. I'm not too worried he didn't give up a run. And Brooks Raley, 3rd straight scoreless outing, continues to be huge for this team. They get a much-needed day off today, and then tomorrow they go to San Fran and their final 6 games before this trade deadline. They're off next Thursday. 3 in San Fran, 3 in San Diego, and then 6 p.m. Thursday, we'll see what this roster looks like and how different it is. One way it could look different would be if they acquired Dylan Cease. Now, listen, Dylan Cease is having a bad year. He's a rental. He's used to be a frontline starter. He probably would be the Mets number 3 or 4 right now in this current rotation. I can envision him starting playoff games. He does have playoff experience. I'm not completely against him, but I got to imagine the Padres, especially for a team that, might be in the wild card race with them, they're probably going to ask for a decent amount. So to me, I'm not in love with trading for Dylan Cease. You see the numbers there, 3-10, 4.59 ERA, 144 strikeouts and 113 2/3. He does strike out a lot of guys. But I'm just not that intrigued by him. He has just 3 postseason starts. He made 2 starts last year for the Padres where he was not good, giving up 8 runs over 5 innings, a start in 2021 for the White Sox, and a start in 2020. He has not been good in the postseason, a 12.91 ERA over just 7 2/3 innings. So that hurts when you think about postseason success. He just hasn't had it. So that's one thing that I'm also worried about with Dylan Cease. What would you have to give up? You probably got to give up at least 1 top 10 prospect. He is a rental, so the Padres are definitely going to listen. But how much are you buying into Dylan Cease having a change of scenery, working with Jeremy Hefner and changing his ways? I don't know. One guy who I would have confidence in is Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly is having a really good year. 9-5, 3.32 ERA, 118 strikeouts, that whip of just 1.06, over 122 innings. Kelly is a solid pitcher and had a solid career, 3.76 ERA. He was 13 starts last year, battled some injuries, 30 starts the year before, a 3.29 ERA. And Kelly, while he's only pitched in 4 postseason games, he was good. In the 2023 postseason, a 2.25 ERA over those 4 starts. He was 3-1 over 24 innings, 28 strikeouts. Kelly did a really good job for that Diamondbacks team that had a nice little postseason run in 2023, nearly getting to the World Series. Remember what happened that year with the Phillies. So, Merrill Kelly, are you interested? Let me know in the comments below. Is Merrill Kelly a guy you would trade for? The Diamondbacks right now, we talk about the Padres. They're still in the race, so we're not sure they're going to be sellers. The Diamondbacks are quickly fading, losing their last 3. They're 50-53. They're 5.5 games out, and Merrill Kelly is an expiring contract. So everyone's talking about Zach Gallen, but why not Merrill Kelly? When I look at the Diamondbacks and I look at, hey, can the Mets add a starting pitcher? Kelly is the guy that intrigues me over Gallen, over Cease, over Alcantara, over Edward Cabrera. And I don't think enough people are really putting Merrill Kelly in that spotlight of pitchers that the Mets should trade. Luis Severino has a lot of money owed to him. When you talk about getting Severino, has been brutal at home, and I know that ballpark's tough to pitch in, and has a lot of money. Merrill Kelly, expiring contract, good numbers, good splits. I'd say go for Merrill Kelly. And for a guy on a team that is 5.5 out of the last wild card, that looks like it might be sellers, I'm trading for Merrill Kelly. And what's it going to cost? Maybe it's a Jesus Baez and a Santucci, maybe one other low-level prospect. I think that's a move you get done because Kelly's a guy I can see pitching in October. When you talk about an October rotation, you talk about Minaya, you talk about Senga, and then maybe it's Peterson and Kelly. Like, I don't look at Montas as a starter. Clay Holmes, I think, is going to move to the bullpen. So you got to start thinking about that Game 3 or Game 4 starter. I think Merrill Kelly can be that guy. So that's the move I might make if I'm the New York Mets. Well, as I've said on here before, this team, folks, is right there. Everything's right in front of them, in the words of Aaron Boone. And David Stearns is going to be tested. I was on Pix 11 Plus with Nelson Figueroa again, 4 straight days with my old co-host. You can check that out on the Pix 11 YouTube, and I tweeted the link at Jake Brown Live. Follow below. David Stearns has to show this fan base that he believes, because the fans believe. 250,000 plus fans during this 6-game homestand. They're selling out every night. Another packed house on a Wednesday afternoon in July against a sub-500 Angels team. There's a lot of things to do in New York. Fans are choosing to come to Citi Field. And they're coming for the vibe. Yes, the $5 Tuesdays, the giveaway, sure. But they're coming to watch a baseball team on the quest for a championship. And if David Stearns goes out and strikes out at this deadline and doesn't improve this team, fans are going to remember this as the deadline that got away. And in a season where the parity is through the roof across the sport, the Mets are one of the best teams in baseball still, despite a 10-20 month, despite a terrible stretch, still one of the best teams in the sport at 59-44. They're right there. They can win this thing. But David Stearns has to give back to the fan base that is putting their hard-earned money into showing up every night. And he's got to make the right moves. Whether it's Coulomb, Castro, Kelly, whether it's Mullins, Coulomb, Ryan, whatever it is, they need that trio of center fielder, starter, reliever, and maybe 2. And anything less, I think, will be unacceptable for a team that has a chance to win the whole damn thing. So go get it, David Stearns. And go become a Mets Daily Insider member by scanning that code. Subscribe, share the channel. Share Mets Daily. We're live every day. We're taking you right through the deadline and all season long. We're here every day. I'm Jake Brown, at Jake Brown Live, at Mets Daily Show on X. Smash that thumbs up. Comment below what trade you would make. Let us know what you think about Cease, Kelly, and everything first place Mets. Thanks for watching, everyone. Giraffe Neckmark joins me tomorrow on Mets Daily.